Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Blind. Got to level 50 here again. So we are ready to go do all the level 50 stuff. But before we do that, we have one other thing we need to look at. We got a new ability here on the Black Mage. Let's see where that went. There it is. Flare. Deals fire damage to target and all enemies nearby it, with a potency of 240 for the first enemy, and 30% less for all remaining enemies. Additional effects: grants Astral Fire 3, and duration 15 seconds, can only be executed while under the effects of Astral Fire. So it's a AoE, but also a decent, just general attack. Fire 3 does fire damage with a potency of 280 on a single target. Flare would do 240, and then a bit to the remaining guys. Then Fire 2 does potency 80 to target and all enemies. Well, that seems like Flare is just a straight up superior Fire 2 here. Time and everything. Cast is 2.8 seconds, recast 2.4. MP costs 1,500. Would be 3,000 when it's going full power. And Flare is a 10,000 MP cost. That's a lot. That's a more of a special kind of thing. Because you have to immediately after that you need to go get more MP back. It's definitely something. It's definitely something. I don't know how often we'd use that. Because if we get back to 10,000, we could cast this and then immediately need to get MP back. Or cast 3 Fire 2s and then go back. Definitely does more damage. Damage per time, though, would be a question. One would assume if it's a level 50 spell, it'd probably be worth using. Kind of silly to unlock this new crazy mega fire that hits everything for incredible damage. And it's just so expensive you just never use it. You got to embrace the magic here. Cast the biggest explodingest spell. It would always be a good time. Okay. There's the level 44 quest in there that we can't do, so we don't have a high enough level with the serpents here yet. Looks like we can do this one though. Level 50. Lots of level 50 things all over the place. Starting here is at the top of my list of all the places. There's a lot on this list. Fear and Odin in the Shroud. Ah, this is that guy we heard about earlier. The guy on the horse being all concerning in the Shroud. So we do get a follow-up on that. It's just that level 50. Reasonable. I'm sure it's going to be a problem. Lieutenant Scarlet would share with you most urgent tidings. Corporal Sin, your timing never fails to amaze. Unless I'm mistaken, you have knowledge of the Elder Primal Odin, correct? At least somewhat. As I thought. Well, as you know, we have long pursued the Dark Divinity, from the pages of arcane scripture to the Shroud itself. Finally, we have a plan to put his prowling to an end. Brother Oapesi has the command. He has personally requested your aid in this venture and waits you at Earth's Font. I'm sure he will give you the details once you present yourself. Godspeed, Corporal Sin. Calm. And over here, in this pile, to Quarry Mill. Oops. Okay. Alright. In terms of other things out in Gordania, not really. All the shrouds don't have any level 50 stuff that I saw previously. So as this counts as a level 50 something in the area. We'll see how this goes. This is going to be Fate, just a wandering boss. Something we need other people to help with. Very possible. Very possible. Let's head over. Get the update on what's going on here. Somewhere out here in the Shroud. Fly over the no man's land here. It's very convenient. Okay. Here we are at this whole thing. We already saw the information about this earlier. Adventurer, thank you for coming. We seek the dark divinity. You must be made privy to the plan before the game is afoot. As you know, Odin hunts in this forest. We have banished him from the Shroud. Yet in actual fact, he has fallen before countless adventurers already. By all rights, the primal should plague us no more. Yet, though again and again he is vanquished, he rises always to charge through the Twelveswood. His constant reappearance is perplexing to say the least, and raises two questions. Who summons him? How does he change his visage upon manifesting? Odin is alone amongst the primals in these aspects. Indeed, I can find not a single sentence in the scriptures that sheds light on his devilish abilities. There is no answer in words writ of the pen. Now the sword must serve. Our plan is to send a band of adventurers against the Dark Divinity. Brother Iesuyan, my master, and I will observe the battle from afar. We believe seeing the moment of Odin's defeat may give us a clue. One that will lead us to uncovering the truth of the primal that has escaped us thus far. Naturally, this hinges upon the company's victory, but no one but a warrior of light could hope to survive the battle. Hence, I've asked you here. Indeed, without you, our venture is doomed to failure. So I implore you, lend us your strength. If you acquiesce, I shall invoke the power of the elementals and draw the dark divinity to this spring. Duty Finder is an update with a new regular duty. Earth's font now available. And this is it right here. Okay. Let's see here. Duty Finder is in duty support. This is the whole thing here. Estrum, Rendai, Victoria, Porticum, Tully, Sunken Temple, here's Cry, this one Darkhold. Doesn't look like it's in here. So that's going to be in the actual just duty stuff here. What are we thinking? Trials. Earth's font. Following requirements are not met. Average item level 95. We are not strong enough to do this. What is our current level stuff? Can we tell here? This is strength. 69? That's not good enough. Let us update the gear set of the Black Mage. Let me look at my list here. Bard? Equip set? That's only level 60. Well, we have more things to put on here. Recommend some gear, new bracelets, and fancier ring. That's 71. We can update the barn set here. Still have the brand new ring here too. Do you recommend us switching the ring again? Nope. We'll update the gear set there. 71. 95 though. My goodness. That is a wild requirement. Not even close. Earth's font. Alright. Guess we are not doing that. Duty is item level synced. All item levels will be adjusted to the level indicated. According to Kiram. Base. Highest Bambelzar himself. Yeah. Already did that. Well. Not the Black Mage, but still. It's a trial. Can't really do this. We want to be on the Black Mage here, just to get perfect experience. Already at level 51, almost 52 on the Bard. So we can't really do this quest right now. That's a significant requirement. Try to go to the entrance here. It opens it up, tells us we cannot. 95. My goodness. What was just this basic stuff here? Can we see? Item level 90 for those bits. And then we have significantly lower level pieces of the other gear. So, none of our things are up to that task. Okay. It is unlocked though, I suppose. We're just going to unmark that for right now. What quest can we hold in the journal here? 30? That's fine. We will come back to that when we get much better gear somewhere. Presumably, we would get it from just getting all the various trade these in for something. We have 720. Probably buy at least something with that. Yeah. Not gonna worry about that right now. What is it? Telemetry, aesthetics, poetics. I'll go through Endwalker, society, currencies. I don't have any of those. Alright. So that is on the list now. And off the list of things we need to at least pick up. So suppose the next question is going to be, is there anything we actually can do? At level 50, it's definitely a milestone level. It wouldn't be too surprising for everything to just be having this stuff. Out to... hold on now. We got multiple things. I guess having multiple things would have a higher chance of us actually being able to do something with it. We got multiple things in both parts of Oda, and then out to Western Thanalan. There's a few things going on. The recommendations here. 50, 50, 50. And the quest, remembering the past, is down arrow. Let's see what this is all about. It's 50, but also scaled or something. There's also more level 50 stuff. Way of the Samurai is level 50. Not sure if that is something we can do. Let's talk to Haji. Remember the past. It's a quest sync level something. Nananji appears to be in deep thoughts. The determined set of your jaw, the dynamic presence, as if you're ever ready to leap into action. There's no mistake, you're an adventurer and a dependable one at that. Tell me, are you familiar with the name Louisoix? Somewhat. Of course you are. Of course you are. Forgive me my suddenness. I am Nononji, a budding writer. I seek to pen a biography of the great man. In particular, I wish to cover his movements leading up to the calamity. And to that end, I have requested an interview with the Immortal Flames. He served the Ehorsian Alliance as a tactician, you see. So there ought to be someone in the Order who had dealings with him. While my request has thankfully been accepted, there's just one problem. I don't have much experience conducting interviews. I'm worried whether I'll be able to do a proper job. As an adventurer, you're doubtless used to dealing with people, thus I would like to ask you to accompany me in the capacity of an assistant. It would be tremendously reassuring to simply have you watching on. And if you're amiable, afterwards I'd like to interview you as well for your own impressions. For your troubles, I'll be certain to credit you as a collaborator. So please, won't you help me with my biography, that the memories of the calamity might be preserved for future generations? Sure. I'm in your debt. To begin with, please come with me to Camp Drybone in Eastern Thanalan. There's a place I'd like to visit ahead of the interview. Okay. I'm just gonna follow one thread at a time here. Got other level 50 stuff here. Camp Drybone. No. Also, it's more teleports, which spend more of our money that we don't really need. It's a system out here. We always just go buy a whole bunch of more materials and stuff. We've got options. We've got options. This is a level 50 scaled down quest thing. Regular quest. Not one of the unlock ones. There you are. To explain why we're here. Oh, I haven't even asked you your name. How am I supposed to credit you if I don't even know that much? My name... Arctic Sin. The Arctic Sin, champion of Eorzea. Small wonder I felt you were dependable. With one such as you helping me, everything will surely go well. We get back to business. The interview I've arranged is with an officer of the Immortal Flames. As there's still time, however, I thought we'd pay a visit to the nearby graveyard first, so I can explain my motivation for the biography. Huh? The nearby graveyard. Been here quite a few times. I come from a small village near the Cartano Flats. It was burned down in the Calamity, and those who died were laid to rest here, my parents among them. It's hardly an uncommon tale. After the dread primal emerged from Dalmud, he unleashed fiery devastation across the length and breadth of Eorzea. But as much as the Calamity has scarred the realm, it is quickly becoming just another event in the history books. Beyond occasionally giving thanks to the Archons that Eorzea was saved, people will spare it little thought. When you've lost so many loved ones, it's hard to feel that anything was saved. That's why I wish to know more about Louisoix. By learning about his part in Eorzea's salvation, hope that I will attain closure. That's my motivation for writing the biography. Now then, in preparation for the interview, let's review what is known about our subject. It's difficult to define exactly when the 7th Umbral Calamity was set in motion. Many historians, however, point to the Empire's Meteor Project, which sought to bring Dalmud down upon Eorzea. It was the year 1562 of the 6th Astral Era. Seeking to combat the Imperial threat, Louisoix founded the Circle of Knowing, an order whose objective was the preservation of Eorzea. Through its members, the Archons of Sharlayan, the Circle worked to unite the nations of Eorzea in common cause. The result was the formation of the Grand Companies in the 3 city-states, the Immortal Flames, the Order of the Twin Adder, and the Maelstrom. None of these would exist now were it not for their efforts. And then, in the year 1572, when the situation was coming to a head, Louisoix himself made the journey to Eorzea in secret and engaged with each of the nations. What took place during that time is what I seek to learn in the interview. The man we're due to meet is the contact for the Free Brigade, a unit formed of adventurers, and he apparently had Louisoix's assistance for a mission. The main place is Highbridge to the northeast. It's more or less time now, so let's make our way there. Alright. There. Head to Highbridge. Alright, you go there. You can teleport us to the graveyard, but not to Highbridge. Sure. Hard to get much response from us currently with our hats and mask and collar so high. We are very hidden and secretive. Destination. Boop. Waiting for contact. There. You're the ones to seek an interview. I must say, wasn't expecting to see the champion of Eorzea. I'm Hanji Hanonji, the writer who made the request, and Artek is kindly accompanying me for the interview. Can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to humor me. Come now, no need for the thanks. Like everyone, I hold Louisoix in the highest esteem. If you wish to know about him, Holland Henri is always glad to oblige. Without further ado, then let us begin. My understanding is you had dealings with Louisoix. Could you please tell me the details? As you know, our grand companies were formed thanks to the Circle of Knowing. It wasn't until Talmud began turning red that Louisoix first appeared. It began with the word that an elderly Elzen man had come to Gridania who had the key to vanquishing primals. Upon learning this, sent an adventurer of the Free Brigade to make contact with him. I later learned that the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder had done the very same. At that time, our companies weren't yet collaborating. Each one only thought to stay ahead of the others. If truth be told, first we didn't think much of Louisoix, only that he was the leader of scholars who studied peculiar prophecies. But when the adventurer reported back, our opinion on the man completely changed. With his spellcraft, Louisoix had opened the way into Ifrit's domain. By the hand of dauntless adventurers, the Lord of the Inferno was brought low. Alas, many defeats preceded that victory. It was reported that countless charred corpses lay strewn in the bowl of embers. Now the mission also yielded a shocking revelation. Following the battle, Legatus Neil von Tarnus of the 7th Imperial Legion appeared and told the adventurer that the hour of reckoning was at hand, that Dalma would soon fall and cleanse the land. That was when we realized that the Empire was behind the Red Moon's anomaly. So thanks to Louisoix, you came to be aware of the Meteor Project. Still, doesn't seem like you had much to act upon. As you say. Afterwards, we scrambled to learn all we could about the project. For a blessing, we had the cooperation of a Garlean defector, Sid Garland, whom you know well. Indeed. He revealed the details of the project that utilized a transmission tower to pluck Talmud from the heavens, all for the purpose of purging us savages from the realm. I could continue telling you what I know. From this point on, there is someone better suited than I am. If you're interested, I'd be glad to introduce you to this individual. What say you? Well now, we'd be keen to speak with this person indeed. Very well. I'll send word to the Adder's Nest. If you could take yourselves to Akulu Falls, I'll arrange for a meeting there. If you go to such lengths to help us, I can't say how grateful I am. Do not mention it. As I said, I hold Louisoix in the highest esteem. He was the one who brought our three nations together, and nothing would please me more than for him to be remembered. Well, it's past time I return to Oldana. I pray that the coming interview bears you fruits. Alright. This is our interview out here in the rain. Lovely day for it. I'm just gonna walk back. Lieutenant certainly has great respect for Louisoix. And thanks to him, we have another promising interview. Come, let's head to Gridania, where the Archon had sojourned. Okay. He's gonna walk there too. Well, you can use the Ethernet teleports. Apaku Falls in Gridania. Black Shroud, here. It's in Gridania. New Gridania. Old Gridania. We're just over here previously. It's okay. It's going. See if this whole sinking business does anything here. It's required 50 to do it, apparently. Or it's 50 and level down, whatever. It's working so far. Alright. And now we go here. We go to Old Gridania. And Amphitheater. Assuming the place here back behind. It was like, talked to somebody back here about something previously. Pictures or landmarks or something like that. There's more systems. There are more systems out here. Okay. Oh, Gridania. Wonder how many people we're gonna end up interviewing from all over the place. I could expect quite a few. Nicer day out here. Not raining. Huh. Running over this way. Oh. So this is Apaku Falls. The conspicuous lack of the creatures aside, it's quite a beautiful place. Now then, for somewhere to meet should be along shortly. I saw that there were those who wished to learn about Louisoix, and who should one of them be but Corporal Sin? Well met. I'm Lieutenant Saro Folk of the Order of the Twin Adder. Nonanji, at your service. Thank you for sparing the time to speak with us. Think nothing of it. I must say, though, that Lieutenant Henry chose the perfect spot for the subject matter. Louisoix spent much time in rumination here in the days before the calamity. We Gridanians, being somewhat reserved by nature, at first the citizens kept their distance. But in time, people warmed to him. He patiently lent an ear to their troubles, healing hurts and offering counsel, and gradually earned their trust. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Louisoix spoke those words and lived up to them. He was the epitome of a Charlian sage, and I recall myself being moved. Now, shortly after we had become aware of the Meteor Project, the hamlet of Quarry Mill was attacked by the primal Garuda. Both soldiers and civilians were among the casualties. The Order of the Twin Adder moved to vanquish the Primal, but we were not alone. Through Louisoix's meditation, we had the support of not only our sister Grand Companies, but capable adventurers the realm over besides. Using an artifact known as the Vortex Feather, the Archon opened the way for a band of adventurers to sally forth into Garuda's turbulent domain, where they felled the fearsome being. Upon her defeat, however, the Primal's dispersed aether did not return to the land. Instead, it was absorbed into the Red Moon Dalamud. When the Empire constructed a new base in Mordana, the Elder Seedseer saw the need for decisive action, put forth a proposal: the formal reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, which had for so long lain dormant. The initial response from the other nations was lukewarm at best. They felt that the burden to be borne by each party was excessive, and they were loath to do aught that would place them at a disadvantage against their rivals. But the revelation that a lunar transmitter had been erected in the Imperial base prompted a change of heart. The tower controlled Dalamud's descent. If it could be destroyed, then the Meteor Project would be forestalled. And having constantly been on the back foot, our nations were motivated to join hands, that we might strike a decisive blow against the enemy. Thus was the Eorzean Alliance reformed, as the Circle of Knowing had hoped. At the same juncture, Louisoix was asked to join the Alliance as a tactician. In that capacity, he proved sage counsel to our heads of state. So, although he was first treated with wariness, Louisoix earned our trust through his actions, and paved the way to enduring cooperation between our nations. Indeed, were it not for him, we all would have perished divided. We owe Louisoix a great debt. Now then, I expect you might be interested in hearing about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. For that tale, I recommend you seek out another, a decorated soldier who actually took part in the operation. Although a hardened warrior, she is quite friendly and should be glad to regale you with her experiences. So I send her word on your behalf. We'd be duly grateful. Very well. You take yourselves to Master in Command in Limso Limensa. I shall see to it that she knows to expect you. With that, I shall take my leave. Pray that the biography is a success. Everyone has been more helpful than I had dared to hope. Seems Louisoix had quite an influence on others. Seems that way. Makes sense. The interview gave us some valuable insights into his character. I'm eager to see what we learn in the next. Come, let's head to Limsa Limitsa. That's a plan. They're just gonna walk there. Maybe you should take the balloons. That'd probably be quicker. Well, let us go. Step forward. Very good. One person from each Grand Company would be a reasonable amount of interviews. Let's see if we can have this going up the chain of command or anything like that. More information to be gleaned about the calamity itself also. This way, thanks to the aft castle. For aft castle, go. Alright. Yep. Loading. Wait for the guy to spawn in. Loads the area. Doesn't load people or NPCs for a little bit. There it is. That's from command. Shall we then? Yep. Arctic. Ever a sight for sore eyes. And you must be Hanaji. Lieutenant Riki, at your service. I understand you wish to hear about our operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. Indeed. I'm penning a biography of the Archon Louisoix, you see, for which I'm interviewing people who had dealings with him. I truly appreciate your time. You're very welcome. I would be glad to assist, even if it wasn't a request from Lieutenant Volk. Hey, various bows and salutes and such. Now then, to continue where he left off, shortly after the Eorzean alliance was formed, our scouts returned with word that the 7th Legion had activated the lunar transmitter in their fortress in Mordana. Now known as Castrum Sentry, the fortress was originally called Castrum Novum, before the 14th restored and renamed it. It was in order to break through its defenses and destroy the transmitter that our three nations joined hands. We were determined to succeed. The strategy that Louisoix proposed was elegant in its simplicity. While our main force drew the Garleans' attention with an all-out siege, an elite band of adventurers would infiltrate the castrum and make for the objective. We entrusted adventurers with ridding us of the primals, and we entrusted them with the very fate of Eorzea. So remember the operation as if it was yesterday. Though we met with fierce resistance, we fought more fiercely still. No matter the cost, we had to ensure that the adventurers had a chance to strike at the transmitter. When the messenger arrived bearing word they had succeeded, it still makes my heart sore to recall that moment of triumph. That day, we learned that, by standing together, the people of Eorzea could oppose even the might of the Empire. It is no exaggeration to say that that victory paved the way for Eorzea's future. Without it, there would not have been an Operation Archon. Alas, it wasn't all glad tidings, for though we destroyed the transmitter, Nil van Darnus appeared and claimed that he no longer needed the device to bring down Dalmud, that he himself had the power to do so. So long as Van Darnus lived, the threat of destruction remained, and so, branding him as an enemy to all life in Eorzea, the nations of the Alliance undertook a desperate manhunt. At length, they located him in Kurthus, and sent their greatest warriors to hunt him down. Leading that formidable band was the adventurer whom they called the Warrior of Light. And though no records remain of the fierce encounter, one thing is certain. At battle's conclusion, Nil van Darnus was brought low. As you know, however, our woes did not end with the White Raven, for Louisoix and his disciples determined that Dalmud would continue to fall. In a last-ditch bid to prevent the realm's annihilation, the Circle of Knowing issued a request to the Eorzean Alliance to secure the Cartano Flats, where the Red Moon was expected to crash. 'Twas no simple task, for the entirety of the 7th Legion had amassed in Carno. What was necessary in order to perform a ritual to stop Dalamud, a ritual that invoked the power of the 12. So it was that the Battle of Cartano was joined, and I dare say you know how the tale continues. To everyone's shock, the Elder Primal, Bahamut, emerged from Dalamud, and proceeded to unleash his fury upon the realm. I, though all bore witness as soon as I initiated the ritual, none remember what came to pass afterwards, neither what happened to Bahamut, nor why the realm was reborn. The haze that afflicted memories of the calamity, but people remember events prior to that moment, yes? So, you know if anyone was near Louisoix during the battle? Someone who may have spoken with him. If someone was near him, I'm afraid I do not know. He was atop a rise for the ritual, while I was a good distance away on the front lines. My apologies. No, please don't apologize. You shared a wealth of information, and I couldn't ask for more. Well, if you're satisfied, then so am I. With that, I shall return to my duties. I look forward to reading the biography when it's finished. Calm. Speak again. Now I have a grasp of events leading up to the calamity, and yet... Oh, forgive me, I was deep in thought. In no small part due to your help, I've managed to learn a great deal. There is still more I wish to know. Might I trouble you to accompany me a little longer? If you're willing, please let me know. Complete this quest. Quest complete. But potentially more. Preserving the future. That was remembering the past. And we can preserve the future. Again, level 50. Quest sync. I'm not sure what that means. We get something for this. Hanji desires more information for Louisoix's biography. A reasonable idea. You'll continue to accompany me then? Wonderful. Come, let's head to the Drowning Wench to discuss our next move. Alright. Our research proceeds apace so far. We've even learned things not found in literature. But tell me, based on what you've heard from our interviewees, what's your opinion of Louisoix? Exceptional leader, a difficult task, others deserve more credit. Leader, I suppose. I agree. Possessed great leadership. If not, he couldn't have established the framework to realize his plans, no matter how brilliant they may have been. What struck me was how grateful the interviewees were to Louisoix for bringing their nations together in cooperation. It was nothing short of necessary for our survival. Yet, in knowing this, I can't help but wonder. In his capacity as a tactician, it seemed to me he had done more than enough by devising a plan and facilitating its execution. He went far beyond that, risking life and limb on the front lines for a land not his own. Perhaps he needed to be there for the ritual. Perhaps he felt a sense of duty. Even so, as noble as it is to desire to help others, what good is it if you end up sacrificing yourself? What was it that compelled Louisoix to go to Carno? And what went through his mind as the battle unfolded? In order to do his biography justice, I feel I need to know these things. Reasonable. Louisoix had people near him at the time, perhaps he shared words with them in his final moments. Or as they could provide some insights. Where to begin searching for such individuals, assuming they exist? Sorry, friends, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Just so happens, I know a bloke that served on Louisoix's guard at Cartano. Really? Truly, you know someone who was with him. Aye, and as far as I'm aware, he wasn't keeping the facts a secret, just for good measure though. Why do you wants to speak with him? Doing an interview, writing a biography. Louisoix's biography, eh? In that case, I reckon the bloke would be willing to cooperate. Orn Hunnerkrum is his name. He was lieutenant of the Maelstrom. After the calamity, he turned to adventuring, so as to be a greater help to the godfolk. Maelstrom officer turned adventurer. We'd be most keen to speak with him. Where might he be found? When Orn dropped in the other day, he said he had business at the Morbay dry docks. If you're lucky, it might be he's still there. Understood. We're in your debt. We can't let this chance pass us by, Arctic. Let's take ourselves to the dry docks at once. Sounds like a plan. Quest accepted. Away we go. Kinda. But then we actually have to teleport there. Probably. It's loading. See if you load back into the same place or we load into another place. We're just here. Okay. The dry docks. Away we go. All over the place. All over the place. Okay. There it is. Spawned in quickly enough this time. Okay. Right. Where could Orn be? In hindsight, we should have asked what he looks like. His name would suggest he's a Midlander, but well, nothing for it but to make inquiries. Let's split up the task and meet again here. Alright. Gather information at the Morbid Dardox. Here. We're gonna import it. Orn, as it happens, I spoke with him just earlier. Said he wanted to buy flowers, so directed him to a vendor. Not sure where he is as of now, though. Alright. Some amount of information. Veteran ship, right? Looking for Orn, you say? Don't know anyone by that name, I'm afraid. Did walk by an unfamiliar fellow just now, though, over by the mark of the spinner. He had a flower in his hand, so he caught my eye. And that tracks. This way. Set it down. There's somebody. Shopkeep. Sorry, I've only just started helping out here. Still learning our customers' names. Couldn't say if it's the person you're after. But a man did come by earlier who appeared to be an adventurer. He bought a Mania Lily that we're currently trialing. An inkling as to where Orn might be. Time to join energy. Alright. That's some information. These over here. There you are, Arctic. Were you able to learn anything? He has a flower. He's going that way. So, a man who could be Orn bought a Mania Lily and went to the mark of the spinner. If we hurry there, we might be able to find him. Let's go. Okay. Let's walk in. Somebody else there. Fascinating. Okay. Location southeast. Where are my drivers? Destination. Surveying. Looking around. It's definitely a rock right here. begging your pardon, sir, but are you Lieutenant Orn Gunicum? I haven't been a lieutenant for years, but hi, that's me. What can I do for you? Hi. I realize this is sudden, but... Interview? So you're writing Louisoix's biography. You want to hear my account as someone who is near on hand at Cartano. Aye. There must be a reason that you're here too. The warrior of light who led us to victory in Operation Archon. Very well, I'll tell you my tale. Now then, where to begin? As you know, the battle was fought over the land where Talmud was expected to fall. In the beginning, neither side was able to gain the upper hand. When the Imperials deployed their Magitech armor, our ranks were thrown into disarray. Those charged with protecting Louisoix, like me, could only watch the carnage from afar. And though our forces managed to hold out, thanks to the adventurer contingent, we sustained grievous casualties. But the real tragedy was what followed. The Talmud hurtled towards us. It began shredding fragments of itself before finally bursting open to unleash the primal Bahamut. As all below looked on in shock, the battle completely forgotten, Bahamut took wing and spewed fire all over the land. Men in Magitech armor alike were set ablaze and sent flying like so many insects. I only realized I had stopped breathing when a commanding voice broke my trance. You've done enough, Louisoix told us. Now fly and save yourselves. Like my fellow guards, I wanted to remain. I couldn't charge into battle besides my comrades. At the very least, I would do my duty here and protect Louisoix to the last. But upon seeing us standing there, not making to move, Louisoix smiled and spoke thus. If you would give your lives to protect something, then protect my hopes. Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope, bright and brilliant. So live, I bid you, and be among those who bear the light for others to follow. Those words awakened us to a greater purpose. There was hope in my living that I would live as Louisoix bid. No matter what, I would survive. And so together with my fellows, I began making my retreat. Alas, we hadn't gotten far when an explosion erupted and sent us sprawling. I struggled to my feet just in time to see the enormous, menacing silhouette of Bahamut looming over Louisoix. The next instant, he was enveloped in light, and that was the last I remember of him. Louisoix's final moment. Amidst that light, he looked to be smiling. What was he thinking at that moment? I couldn't say. One thing is certain. We all of us are alive thanks to him. Following the calamity, it was reported that Louisoix had defeated Bahamut and set about the land's miraculous regeneration. Do you believe this is the truth? Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. What we've learned has reaffirmed my belief, Arctic. The belief that Louisoix was not an all-powerful savior one reads about in tales, but merely an ordinary man. But that man never forsook Eorzea. No, he stood for this realm to the last. He and countless other brave souls, and saved it from becoming a scorched waste. Against unimaginable adversity he fought, and at the cost of his life, paved the way to a brighter future for us all. The least I can do in return is tell his story. Spread his message that where there is life, there is hope. Thanks to your account, I believe I've found an angle for the biography. I'm truly grateful. Would you care to offer a prayer as well? A prayer that the light of hope, which Louisoix preserved, shall ever burn bright. There you go. Probably. This is here too. Allow me to thank you again for counting your experiences to us. Nay, it is I who owes you thanks for giving me the chance to share Louisoix's words. All these years, I have avoided speaking of the moment of his passing out of respect. It would not do to take the tale to my grave. Through the biography, it's my hope that his spirit will live on in all of us. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I shall resume my pilgrimage to the marks. Wherever your travels take you, I should be praying for your safety. Emile lilies, the symbol of safe passage. As Louisoix stood there in Carno, I wonder if he likewise prayed for someone's safety. At any rate, these interviews have yielded everything I'd hoped for and more. Come, let's return to Ul'dah. I'll have your reward for you at Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. Alright. Ul'dah. Right here. Right back where it started. All around. All around. Oop. Huh. Cross that off the list. Ultimately, 2 quests. But a lot of travel and dialogue for those. A lot of information. A lot of stuff. Sprinting. Okay. And no need to split because they're not here yet. Because they haven't spawned in. No more sprinting. There you are. I ended up troubling you longer than I had intended. It was truly a fruitful series of interviews. How fortunate that we could hear from those who lived that fateful time. While I still have many questions, the biography is beginning to take shape in my mind. I also feel as though I've attained a measure of closure. Louisoix fought simply as one of us. He made the ultimate sacrifice that hope might endure. This I've come to realize and appreciate, thanks to everyone's heartfelt testimonies. Now then, last but not least, I'd like to ask you for your thoughts on something. According to Orin, Louisoix smiled in his final moment, as he was enveloped in light. What do you imagine he held in his mind? Should mankind thrive in the future? Pointless to speculate on such things. Hope. I see, I see. I appreciate your thoughts. As I pen the biography, I'm certain to remember your words. Well, sad though it is, it's time for us to part ways. I'll set to work on a draft, and I won't rest until the biography goes to print. Thank you for all your help, my friend. Couldn't have come this far without you. Oh, that's complete. 827. End of an era framers kit. Tools for enhancing a portrait. Used to unlock embellishments fit for an inheritor of Louisoix's legacy. Includes portrait elements, background, frame. Includes plate elements, base plate, backing portrait, frame plate, portrait frame, plate frame, accent. Unobtainable, unregistered. Enhancing a portrait. Complete. A new chapter of Dugan Plus has been added. Really. The man, the myth, the legend. Indeed. New the quest, preserving the future. Neat. New Game Plus. That's also a thing. Not what we're currently doing here. Whole chapter, apparently. So it's in here somewhere. Not gonna worry about that. We got all these other little 50 quests and unlock quests and such. Let me get this though. Use this framers kit. Portrait elements encased in the end of an era's framers kit. Alright. Portrait stuff. That's also a whole thing. Can you find that somewhere in here? Portraits. This is the portrait. Wait, we're really close in there. Designs. Design options. Edit it. Background. Oh, these. Character. And get lighting. Pose. Very nearby. Zoom out a little bit. There we are. And rotation. The stand around. So there's more options for this. We totally have a different expression here. That's gonna be very helpful. If you lost, yeah, it's fine. We can mess with that if we wanted to. Anyways, more things just right here, even. Way of the Samurai. Sounds like something. Right here. Might as well do that next. Time. Goodbye.